About a year ago, I released a video showing the active track hack for the DJI Mini 2. And a year on, we now have active tracking support, but only for Android users. Us iOS users still don't have availability to do active tracking using third-party apps on the DJI Mini 2. So I wanted to find out, in 2022, does the active track hack still work? And if it does work it well? Let's jump right in. So today I'm using the DJI Mini 2, a drone which has recently got active tracking via third-party apps using Android devices, and I've went ahead and tried that out and I've got a video on it. I'll put the link down below. But I'm really an iOS user, and there's times when I'm out I would love to do active tracking on the DJI Mini 2. It's a feature I use all the time in other DJI drones and I find it really useful. So I've come out here to try out the active track hack that I posted over a year ago on my channel, and I want to find out, does it still work, and if it still works, how well does it work? Let's put it through its paces and find out. So before we get in and do some tests to show if this is still working in 2022, I want to do a super quick recap for anyone who maybe has never done the active track hack or doesn't know how to do it, on how you do the active track hack. So what you want to do is you want to find yourself a nice open area where you can walk in a straight line, for example a beach, and you want to align the drone to either side of you, either to the right side or left side. Then you want to go into QuickShots, select circle or helix, draw a box around you, and then this bit is critically important. You want to select the arrows in the direction you're going to walk. Then you want to hit go and start walking. And what happens here is the drone is going to try and do a quick shot circle or helix around you. But because you've selected the direction you're walking, the drone can never get in front of you, and so you get this simulated active track hack. So now you know how you do it. Let's see, does it still work in 2022? So for the first two tests, I decided to do it in a area that was uncomplicated. So there was no foliage, no objects to make it complicated for this active track hack to work. So here I am on the beach, I selected quick shots. I used the helix mode, which in my testing before I found to be the best because the drone tried to get in front of you slower than circle, and so you could always stay ahead of it and the active track always worked. So I've drawn a box around myself, I've hit go, and I start walking, and you can see this is tracking really well. I'm getting remarkably similar results here to what I would have got using one of the third-party Android apps which has active tracking built into it. For the second test, initially the box lost me straight away, subject lost, reselect subject it said. So I moved the drone a little closer, and then I drew another box around me and I hit start. And this time I wanted to do a little bit of a run to try and move faster than if I was walking and see if it could keep up. So I start running, and as you can see, it's tracking me really rather well. Again, I'm getting the same kind of results I got when I tested out the Lychee tracking app recently in the same location. So for the third test, I wanted to take it up a level. I wanted to go to an area where there was more going on and make it harder for the drone to try to track me to see if this really does work in 2022. So I've drawn a box around me, I've hit go, start walking, you can see it loses me almost straight away. So that was disappointing. Test 4, and I hit go again. And when I start walking, you can see this is even worse. It just loses track of me straight away. And I don't know why, there's not too much going on here. And so that was really disappointing. So I tried getting even closer. I selected myself and I hit go. And this time it almost immediately loses me, which is really disappointing. So for the next test, I done a couple of things differently. I changed it to circle mode. I selected me. I decided I'm not going to start walking until the quick shot starts. And so the quick shot started, the drone started to move, and then I started walking. And here you can see I get much better of a track. At least for a good few seconds, it tracks me pretty well. So again, I decided to try this the other way. I drew a box around me, I hit go. I wait till the quick shot started, and then I started walking. I get a few good seconds of tracking, but then without warning, it just loses me again. And there's no real obstacles here for this to be happening. It just seems to cut out randomly. I then decided to try it with the drone higher up. It lost me before the quick shot even started, so that was a bit of a fail. So I thought the automatic video settings might be the issue because this image was quite overexposed, and I thought the exposure was maybe messing with it. So I changed the settings to manual, brought the exposure down a little, started the tracking again, started the quick shot again. And this time you can see I get much better results, even though this image is probably still a little bit overexposed. You can see here I'm getting a pretty solid track. Now it does start to overtake me, it does start to come above me, so I did have to stop it manually. But I was getting a pretty solid track there. Again, I used manual video settings for this one, decided to walk the other way, made sure the exposure was right. And this time again I got a pretty solid track. It seemed to be having a easier time doing this active track hack and tracking me when the exposure was set correctly with manual settings, and I got a decently long track with this mode. So what would be my conclusion after doing these tests? Well, it seems to be much less reliable now than it was last year when doing this active track hack. It definitely seems to be much more unstable in terms of how well it tracks you and how long it tracks you for. It seems to cut out much more often. That being said, I find it on par with some third-party Android tracking apps which have similar results. They either track you well or they don't track you at all, and they'll cut out without warning. So there you have it. Now, if you want to learn more about drones, tips, tricks and tutorials about how to get the most cinematic footage from your drone, then I recommend you check out my channel where I have a ton of other content to help you level up your drone game. If you find this video useful, please give me the thumbs up and let me know by clicking the like button down below. And if you want to stick around and watch some more drone videos now, then here's a few I personally recommend checking out. I'll not keep you back any further. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.